The rain hammered the roof like it had a grudge, turning the narrow alley behind our building into a river of regret. I wiped the fog from the laptop screen with my sleeve, heart slamming against my ribs as the file popped open unbidden. A grainy video of Wyatt, my quiet neighbor from 4B, tangled in sheets with a man whose face blurred into ghost, his moans echoing like a confession he never meant to share. In that frozen second, before the thunder crashed and the power flickered, I realized the laptop wasn't broken. It was a door, cracked wide to secrets that would drag us both under. Elijah Harper had never been the type to snoop. At 28, with my freelance IT gigs keeping the lights on in my one-bedroom walk-up in Seattle's Capitol Hill, I prided myself on discretion. Clients trusted me with their digital skeletons, passwords to offshore accounts, deleted texts from affairs gone sour, even the occasional revenge porn they'd swear was accidental. I fixed it all without a word, handed back the machine like nothing had happened. But Wyatt Kane? He was different from the start. It was a Tuesday in late October, the kind of gray day where the clouds hung so low you could taste the damp on your tongue. I'd been nursing a black coffee at the corner table in Brew and Bean, scrolling through job listings on my phone, when he shuffled in, collar up against the wind. Wyatt was 30, maybe a year older than me, with that effortless build of someone who hiked the Cascades on weekends, broad shoulders under a threadbare leather jacket, blonde hair cropped close like he'd just shipped out of the Marines. His blue eyes caught the light wrong, too sharp for the softness in his smile, and when he ordered a double espresso with a voice like smoked oak, I felt it. That pull, the one I'd spent years ignoring. We'd nodded at each other in the stairwell for months, ever since he moved into the building last spring. 4B, right across the hall from my 4A. He'd wave on his way out for runs at dawn, or I'd catch him hauling grocery bags with that easy grace, tattoos peeking from his cuffs, swallows in flight, inked black against sun-faded skin. Never more than small talk, rain's biblical today, or heard the mariners choked again. But that Tuesday, as he waited for his cup, our eyes locked over the steam, and he lingered. "You're the tech wizard, right, Elijah?" His voice cut through the hiss of the espresso machine, casual but deliberate. I blinked, caught mid-sip. Guilty. What gave it away? He chuckled, low and warm, sliding onto the stool across from me like we'd planned it. "Saw your stack of hard drives in the hall once. Figured you weren't running a crypto farm." Up close, he smelled like pine soap and city rain, and his knee brushed mine under the table, accidental or not. We talked for an hour, his job as a freelance photographer shooting weddings in the Sound, my gripes about glitchy firewalls. By the time the barista flipped the closed sign, he'd asked for my number. "In case my rig dies," he said, eyes crinkling. "Old beast's been acting up." That night, as the storm rolled in off the Puget, my phone buzzed. "Wyatt, laptop's toast. Can you swing by tomorrow? Beer's on me." I typed back too fast, "Deal. What time?" His reply, "Noon. Doors unlocked. Thanks, man." Sleep didn't come easy. I lay there in the dark, ceiling fan whirring like a bad omen, replaying the brush of his knee. Seattle had a way of amplifying solitude, endless drizzle mirroring the ache of half-formed wants. I'd come out in college, back in Pullman at Washington State, but dating? It was a carousel of apps and awkward hookups, guys who ghosted after one night or chased the straight fantasy. At 28, I was done chasing. Or so I told myself. Morning broke sluggish, fog thick as regret. I grabbed my toolkit, screwdriver set, USB boot drive, the usual, and crossed the hall. His door was ajar, the scent of fresh varnish and darkroom chemicals spilling out. "Wyatt," I called, stepping into a space that screamed curated chaos. Exposed brick walls lined with framed prints of misty forests and jagged coastlines, a leather couch piled with blankets, a kitchenette cluttered with takeout containers. No sign of him. The laptop sat open on the coffee table, a battered MacBook from the early aughts, screen frozen on a login prompt. I settled in, cracking my knuckles, and powered it up. Password, swallows fly free. Cute. It booted slow, fans wheezing like an old smoker, and I ran diagnostics, dust-clogged vents, a failing hard drive. Standard fix. But as I navigated to the repair menu, a notification pinged, an unsent email draft, cursor blinking in the compose window. I shouldn't have looked. God, I know that now. But the subject line glowed like a flare. "I can't pretend anymore, Ben." Heart in my throat, I scrolled down. The body was a gut punch. "It's been 3 years since you left, and I'm still chasing your shadow." The family dinner last week. Dad's jokes about grandkids, Mom's knowing glances, They tore me open. I told them about us, about the nights in your truck overlooking the sound, your hand in mine like it was the only anchor. They didn't scream, didn't disown me. Just silence. And now I'm back here, in this city that swallows secrets, wondering if I'll ever let anyone in again. If I can be whole without you. The attachment thumbnail caught my eye. A video file, timestamped last week. My finger hovered, then clicked. The screen filled with Wyatt, shirtless in low light, his face half-shadowed as he spoke to the camera, voice raw. Ben, if you're out there, I loved you. Still do. In the broken way you can't fix. Then the feed shifted, not to talking, but to memory. Grainy footage of two men, Wyatt and who I assumed was Ben, kissing slow and desperate on a rain-slicked balcony, hands roaming like they were mapping home. Wyatt's laugh, muffled and real, cut through the static. It ended abrupt, screen glitching to black. Thunder rattled the windows, jolting me back. The laptop whirred, overheating now, and I slammed it shut, pulse roaring in my ears. This wasn't just a fix, it was a fracture. Wyatt's life, cracked open on my lap. Gay, grieving, guarded as hell. And me? I'd just become the intruder. I sat there, toolkit forgotten, rain lashing the panes like judgment. Part of me screamed to bolt, delete the file, pretend. But another part, the one that knew the weight of hidden truths, stayed rooted. When the door creaked open an hour later, Wyatt dripping from the downpour, towel around his neck, our eyes met across the room. His smile faltered, then died. You saw it, he said, not a question. Voice flat as the sound on a calm day. I nodded, throat dry. Yeah, the email was open. I'm sorry. He crossed to the kitchen, grabbing 2 beers from the fridge, popping the caps with a church key that clinked like finality. Handed me one, sank onto the couch beside me, close enough that our thighs touched, heat cutting the chill. Not your fault. Machine's a time bomb. He took a long pull, eyes on the floor. Ben was everything. Marine buddy from Pendleton. We served together in Kandahar, came back stateside thinking we'd beat the odds. But odds won. He shipped out again. Last op went south. IED. 3 years ago. The words hung heavy, the room shrinking around us. I wanted to touch him, shoulder, hand, anything, but held back. Wyatt, I had no right. Stop. He turned then, blue eyes locking on mine, fierce and fracturing. You think I leave that shit unlocked by accident? Part of me wanted it out, tired of carrying it solo. His laugh was bitter, self-deprecating. Welcome to the mess, Elijah. Beers get warmer than this. We talked till dusk bled into night, the storm easing to a patter. He spilled it all, the closet in his Texas upbringing, Dad's ranch hand pride, Mom's Bible study circles that whispered about choices, the service, where Ben became salvation in foxholes and stolen glances, the coming out, post-funeral, that left his family splintered, love laced with distance. Seattle was his reset, camera his shield. But shields crack, he said, voice softening. And now you've seen mine. I shared back, halting at first. My own fumblings, the ex who bailed when I wouldn't play straight for his folks, the freelance grind that left me hollow. Hours blurred, beers emptied, and somewhere in the haze, his hand found my knee. Not pushing, just there. Anchor. When I finally stood to go, toolkit in hand, laptop fixed and files scrubbed, at his nod, he walked me to the door. Rain scent clung to him, mingling with the faint salt of unshed tears. Thanks, Elijah. For not running. I paused, heart thudding. Wouldn't dream of it. The door clicked shut, but sleep? Forget it. That night, as sirens wailed distant through the fog, I replayed his touch, the weight of trust, the spark of maybe. Across the hall, Wyatt Kane wasn't just a neighbor anymore. He was a question, burning bright. End of part 1, 10:23 words. 2 weeks later, the fix had become routine, but nothing about us felt fixed. Wyatt texted daily now, memes about glitchy printers, invites to grab pho at the spot on Broadway where the broth simmered spicy enough to chase ghosts. We'd fall into easy rhythm, me teasing his analog camera snobbery, him ribbing my caffeine for drip. But under it, the video lingered like a bruise, tender, unavoidable. One crisp November evening, as maple leaves skittered across Pike Place like confetti from a forgotten parade, he knocked. Field trip, he announced, holding up a thermos of what smelled like mulled cider. Gasworks Park. Sunset's gonna be killer. I grabbed my jacket, pulse quickening at the casual command. Seattle's parks were my solace, jagged skylines bleeding into evergreen sprawl, but with him, it felt like stepping onto a wire. We hiked the hill paths, boots crunching gravel, the Olympics hazy purple across the water. He unpacked a blanket near the old gasification towers, rusted skeletons against the dying light, and we sat shoulder to shoulder, passing the thermos. "Ever think about why we hide?" he asked, voice low as the wind whispered through chain link. His profile was sharp, gilded by the sun's last gasp, tattoos flexing as he gestured to the bay. Ben and I, we'd sneak off base, park the truck on some bluff, pretend the world ended at the tailgate. Felt free then. Now, it's like I'm still parked, engine dead. I swallowed cider, warmth spreading traitorously. Hiding survival. Grew up in Spokane, Bible Belt light. Dad was a logger, Mom baked for the church potlucks. Coming out was like handing them a lit match in a powder keg. They love me, sure. But it's that polite love, the kind that asks if you're seeing anyone nice, without saying girl. He turned, eyes searching mine, blue as the sound at noon, depths I wanted to drown in. "And now? You seeing anyone?" The air thickened, charged like pre-storm static. My laugh came shaky. Not till the wizard fixed his own glitches. Wyatt's hand brushed my arm, deliberate this time, fingers tracing the seam of my sleeve. Maybe glitches are the good part. Make the signal worth chasing. He leaned in, slow as mercy, and kissed me. Soft at first, tasting of cinnamon and salt. Then deeper, his palm cupping my jaw like I was fragile code he didn't want to break. We broke apart breathless, foreheads touching, the city lights winking on below like a million tiny approvals. That night, back in 4B, the kiss evolved, clothes shedding like old skins, his body mapping mine on the leather couch, all lean muscle and ink under my hands. He was reverent, whispering my name like prayer, every touch a reclamation. In the afterglow, tangled in sheets that smelled of him, I traced his swallows. "Fly free," I murmured. He smiled, shadows playing across his chest. Starting to. Dating Wyatt was like falling into a John Irving novel, tender detours laced with ache. We'd wander Fremont's Troll Bridge at midnight, his camera capturing my laugh frozen in flash. Steel mornings at Alki Beach, toes in the surf, sharing stories of boys we almost were. He opened up more. The letters from Ben, yellowed in a shoebox, read aloud over whiskey till tears tracked silent. I confessed my fears, the app fatigue, the dread of being the rebound in someone's grief. But cracks showed early. A call from Texas, his voice tightening on the line as I stirred pasta in my kitchen. "Family stuff?" he'd say, hanging up abrupt. Or the way he'd pull back mid-embrace, eyes distant, like Ben's ghost knocked polite at the door. "Not you," he'd assure, pulling me close again. "Just echoes." I believed him. Wanted to. Until the night of the gallery opening. Wyatt's show was at a loft in Belltown. His sound series, moody monochromes of fairies slicing fog, sold out before the cork popped. I arrived late, dodging hipsters in ironic flannel, scanning the crowd for his blonde head. Found him cornered by a cluster, suits and silk, laughing too loud at his jokes. Among them, a woman, mid-40s, sharp bob, pearls like armor, clung to his arm, her smile all teeth. "Elijah," he extricated, pulling me into the fray. "This is Cassandra, my agent. Cass, Elijah's the genius who saved my ass last month." Her grip was cool, assessing. "Wyatt's told me all about you. The night and shining cables." Her eyes lingered, probing. He's been glowing. The toast that followed was champagne fizz and veiled barbs. Cass dominated, anecdotes of Wyatt's prodigy days in Austin, scout camps, frat rushes, the all-American boy who landed in Seattle chasing light. "Family's so proud," she cooed, hand on his back. "Your father's already framing that feature in Texas Monthly." Wyatt stiffened beside me, smile plastic. I excused myself for air, stepping onto the fire escape where the bay glittered indifferent. Minutes later, he joined, lighting a rare smoke. "Sorry, she's a shark in heels." "Family mention," I said, not accusing. "You never talk Texas much." He exhaled slow, smoke curling like regret. "Because it's a minefield. Dad's on the mend from bypass, heart scare last spring. They want me home for Christmas, make things right." His voice cracked. "Right means pretending, Elijah. The prodigal son, straight as an arrow." I pulled him close, chin on his shoulder. "You don't have to go. But I do." He turned, eyes stormy. "Not for them. For the kid I left behind. The one who fixed fences and dreamed of escape." The kiss that followed was fierce, reclaiming, but laced with goodbye. We left early, cab ride silent till he murmured against my neck, "Stay tonight. Make me forget." In 4B, we drowned doubts in skin, slow, then urgent, his body arching under mine like waves crashing breakwater. Afterward, as rain tapped Morse on the skylight, he traced my ribs. Love this. Us. Don't let me fuck it up. You won't. I lied, because hope's a stubborn glitch. The holidays loomed like storm fronts. Wyatt's flights were booked, Dallas-Fort Worth, then Austin, a week of ranch house facades. Just play nice, he said over breakfast burritos at my place. Avocado smearing his thumb which he licked clean, distracting. Smile for mom's pecan pie. Be the son they remember. I nodded, forcing cheer. Bring back stories. The ones that don't involve chaps. His laugh was genuine, but the drop-off at Seattle-Tacoma gutted me. He hugged tight in the departure's haze, whispering, video call every night. Promise. The first 3 were golden. Him in a guest room quilted floral, face lit by phone glow, recounting dad's bad jokes, mom's furtive side hugs. They asked about you, he said on night 2. Told him you're the guy who makes Seattle bearable. My chest swelled. Flatterer. Night 4, the call dropped mid-sentence. Redialed hours later, voicemail. Night 5, nothing. Text unread. By night 6, panic clawed. You okay? Miss you. Silence. Christmas Eve, I wandered Capitol Hill alone, strings of lights mocking from every awning. Brew and Bean was packed, carols tinny, and I nursed eggnog latte till closing, willing my phone to buzz. It did. At 2 a.m., airport Wi-Fi flickering. Wyatt, landed. Rough. Call tomorrow? Relief crashed, then suspicion. Tomorrow became the day after. He returned gaunt, eyes hollow, crashing into 4B without a word. I cornered him New Year's morning, coffee in hand. What happened? He deflated onto the couch, head in hands. Confrontation. Dad found the shoebox, Ben's letters. Blew up. Called it poison, said I'd shamed us all. Voice breaking. Mom just cried. I left early, told him I'm done pretending. But Elijah, it gutted me. I knelt, hands on his knees. You did right. Proud of you. His eyes met mine, fractured but fierce. Then why does it feel like betrayal? We mended slow that January, nights in, binging old westerns, his head on my lap as I carted fingers through his hair. Photography gigs picked up. I scored a contract with a startup in Pioneer Square. Us. We bloomed tentative, kisses lingering longer, talks turning to futures, road trip to the Olympics, maybe a cabin in the San Juans. But echoes lingered. Cass called more, opportunities, in Austin, family connections. Wyatt brushed it off, but tension coiled. One February night, post-dinner at a hole-in-the-wall taqueria, he went quiet over churros. They want reconciliation. Dad's writing letters now. Apologies, sorta. I squeezed his hand under the table. Go if you need. But come back to this. He smiled, but it didn't reach. This is home. Spring teased with cherry blossoms along the waterfront, and we chased it. Picnics in Discovery Park, his lens capturing me mid-laugh, petals snowing soft. Love settled deep, unspoken vows in every glance. Till the email. I was at his place, laptop humming, irony thick, as I backed up his drives. Notification pinged, from Cass. Subject, Austin offer, don't say no yet. I froze. Then, stupid, trust blind spot, clicked. Wyatt, your father's pulling strings. Gallery downtown, solo show, full backing. It's redemption, kid. For everyone. Think family. Attachment, a calendar invite. Dinner with dad. Date circled, next month. Heart sinking, I closed it. He walked in then, takeout bag swinging. Ty? Figured weed. You saw Austin? No preamble. His face shuddered. Elijah, it's not. A gallery? Dinner with dad. Voice rising, betrayal hot. You said home was here. It is. He dropped the bags, stepping close. But this? It's bridge building. Not leaving you. Feels like it. The words lashed, born of fear. Am I the placeholder till Texas calls? His eyes flashed hurt. Fuck that. You're everything. He grabbed my arms, kissed desperate. Stay? Talk. We did. Till dawn. Yells to whispers, tears salting skin. I need this, he admitted. To heal. But I choose you. Always. Forgiveness came fragile, but we rebuilt. Couples hike in the Issaquahs. Vows whispered at overlooks. Summer hummed promise. Then betrayal struck, sharp as a shutter snap. It was July 4th, fireworks blooming over the sound like false stars. We'd planned low-key, rooftop barbecue with building stragglers, Wyatt grilling salmon, me mixing craft IPAs. Laughter echoed off bricks, bottle rockets whistling. But midway, His phone lit up. He stepped aside, voice low, urgent. I watched from afar, his posture tense, free hand raking hair. Minutes stretched. He returned, smile strained. Work thing. Early shoot tomorrow. Lie hung acrid. I let it slide, for the night. But morning, as he showered, I borrowed his phone. Trust eroded, curiosity venom. Text from Dad. Proud of you, son. Dinner sealed it. Austin's waiting. Then, buried. Cass. Tickets booked. August 15th. Tell Elijah it's temp. He gets it. Temp. The word knifed. I confronted him wet from the spray, towel low on hips. August. You're moving. Elijah. Water dripped from his lashes. It's 6 months. Gallery residency. Dad's olive branch. 6 months. Voice cracked. You lied. Protected us. He reached. I flinched. From this. The fight. From truth. Rage boiled. Ben's ghost was honest. This. You're running back to the closet. His face crumpled. It's not. I love you. This fixes things so we can. Fix. I laughed hollow. You're breaking us. The door slam echoed my exit. Days blurred. Radio silence. My shifts numb. Capitol Hill's buzz mocking. He texted, please, talk. Please. I ghosted, pride's cruel armor. Week 2, mutual friend Levi cornered me at Brew and Bean. He's wrecked, man. Packing, but it's killing him. Packing. Finality hit like rain. I biked to 4B, heart hammering. Door ajar, boxes everywhere, prints wrapped fragile. Wyatt knelt amid chaos, eyes red-rimmed. You're leaving, I said flat. He rose slow, trying to stay whole. For us, eventually. Us. Bitterness surged. You chose them. No. Voice fierce. Chose peace. Dad's changed. Therapy talks. Mom too. It's not betrayal. It's evolution. Evolution without me. Tears hot. I saw you, Wyatt. All of you. And it's not enough. His hand cupped my face, thumb brushing salt. It is. Come with me. Or wait. But don't end this. Temptation ward. Love's gravity. But hurt one. I can't wait for maybe. I left him there, boxes mocking. Seattle swallowed me whole that August. Rain relentless, as if morning. Wyatt boarded the plane. I buried in work, apps a numb distraction. Months ground. His postcards arrived. Austin sun-scorched, words aching. Miss your green eyes. Healing here. For us? Fall turned, leaves rotting underfoot. One November Eve, as current date mirrored our first storm, my buzzer sang. Open to him. Tanned, leaner, swallows seeming to strain against skin. Back, he said, voice rough. For good. Why now? Gallery folded. Scandal. Dad's old prejudices leaked to press. Lost the bridge. Found clarity. Eyes locked. Vulnerable. I choose you. No halves. Doubt lingered. But his kiss. Home. Cracked it. We talked raw. Therapy for him. Boundaries for us. No more secrets. Winter healed slow, but sure. Shared hikes. His camera framing our now. Spring brought proposal. Not rings, but promise. Build with me. Unbroken. We did. Seattle's rain washed clean, love's signal strong. In the end, the laptop's ghost taught mercy. For others, for self. Freedom wasn't flight. It was landing, wings spread, in arms that held.